now we're moving on to my favorite test. Third 3. We had an especially good bottle of Cabernet Sauvignon when we wrote this test, and I think we were quite brilliant myself. George Williams and I came up with the canner work on this test, and we both hated the flying changes on the center line, so we were like bound and determined to get rid of them, and we did. So it's been going so well, we left it alone. Okay? So that's all I have to say. We'll just dive right into it. And now again, we're back to graduation day. Now we're junior high school, getting ready to head on to high school. So my expectation, the flying changes have to be spot on this test, because next test she's going to have to start doing tempies. So if she's struggling with a single flying change in this test, then she's not ready to go to 4th level. Okay? And the lateral work has to be easy for the horse, because it gets much harder when they move to 4th level. We'll let Ellie introduce her.
All right, so for 3rd level test 3, we have Jess Havey. She is from Encinitas, California, riding a warm blood mare named Relevant. Very cool.
So can anybody tell me the purpose of 3rd level? What changes now? Anybody ever read it? Yep. And transitions now have to be a bigger deal, right? Okay? Everything has to have more. Now we start thinking a little bit about self-carriage. 2nd level, they don't have self-carriage. I'm not too worried about it. 3rd level, they need to start showing the idea of self-carriage. Okay? And what does self-carriage mean? They carry themselves. Keep it simple. Okay? You know, collection's another one where we all like to have big, complicated definitions. And when I was doing my L program, and I won't tell you what year it was because I don't want you to know exactly how old I am, but when I was doing it years and years and years ago, Liz Searle was one of my instructors. Everybody remember Liz? Great lady. And we were doing demo horses, and the 2nd level horses came in, and she said, okay, how much collection is enough collection for 2nd level? And we were all giving her like dissertations, like we were doing our defense on our PhD or something. And finally she said, no, you got to keep it simple. And this, I've never forgotten this, and it's so easy, and it makes so much more sense. When I'm teaching, I never tell anybody needs more collection, because most of the time they don't know what I'm doing, unless it's a really advanced rider, then I will. But she said if they come out of a movement with as much or more balance that they went into the movement, they have enough collection for the level they're in. And that makes it like, oh, well, that's easy. I don't know why, but I don't know if it's this way in Europe, but in the United States, we like to keep a lot of mystery in this sport. I'm not quite sure why, but we do. But then nobody knows what they're supposed to be doing when we keep mystery in the sport. So I think it's kind of a shame that we have a tendency to do that. But keep that in your mind. They have enough collection for the level if they do a movement and they come out of the movement, and actually they have really good collection for the level if they come out of the movement in better balance. That means because the movement creates the collection then. Okay? Are you good? Okay. Haunches slightly right in halt, 6.5. Lots of reach, a little bit hurried, 7.5. That's a pretty trot, huh? Woo! Oof. Overbent in neck. A 7. You judges on the side can tell me, but it looked like the first half circle was too shallow. 6.5. Needs more cadence. 7. Good ground cover. 8. 8 for the transitions. Good halt. Too many steps back. 7. Steady and cadenced. 8. Overbent in neck. I wish I could do this with riders and shows because you guys are all fixing stuff when I say it. 7. Quite small and balanced. 8. Not as fluid. 7. Stride short, more like a collected walk. 6.5. Could be looser in top line. 7.5. Could have more jump in transition. 7. Overbent in neck. 7.5. You have to wait until she finishes the center line on that. Expressive and uphill. 8. Good balance. 8. She did not overbend the neck that time, so I was happier. A little bit hurried. 7. Could be straighter in neck. 7. 7 for the transitions. Transition slightly late. 6.5. Fairly straight. 7. Thank you. Do you like that test? I love that test too. That was the attempt. Yeah, yeah. Okay. So, I'll just say from the whole third level group of demo horses, They're all very solid third level horses. They're not in over their heads. The riders aren't in over their heads. That's really important. I trained with Hilda for quite a long time back in the day, and she said once, show the level below what you're schooling. And she's right. I'm sure what are you schooling? Pre-St. George? Yeah. And maybe going to show fourth this year? Exactly. Yeah. Because it's way more fun to get a 72, 74 than it is a 58, 55. I don't understand people, although then they can put it on Facebook that they rode third level. So I guess there's that. So if they say they were first place at a show and they don't give you the score, they were the only one in the class and it was not a good ride. Any questions on this ride?
I like the canter work.
Yeah, canter work was, that test is really, really conducive to being user-friendly to the horse, liking to do the lateral work. And then the flying change, you have time to set them up. The half circle helps you kind of regroup and get them balanced. And then you have lots of length to ask for the change wherever it works best for you. I think this horse is probably going to be pretty fun to watch in the pre-St. George classes, I'm guessing. So we have some serious mare power going on here today. Watch the medium walk. Well, you're going to fourth level, so it was fine for your collected walk, but it was not a medium walk, okay? Yeah. Collected is they track up, medium they overtrack. Extended walk, they overtrack even more. Okay? You did a very nice collected walk, but for medium walk, it was not correct. Yep. Yeah, I want the horse, when she went into the canter, the horse kind of went like this, and I want the horse to go like this. Okay? Just what I just did. Yeah, I want jump. I want them to come off the ground into the canter and not pull themselves into it with their shoulders. Sorry, I didn't say that on the mic. I want the horse to come into the canter from the hind leg. Okay? The horse should canter like this, okay? Not pull themselves into it with their shoulders. And if they don't have enough activity behind, they can't have the jump in the canter. In order to have good flying changes, there has to be fly in the canter, right? If the canter is earthbound, having a clean flying change would be extremely difficult. That's why hunter changes are oftentimes late behind, but they don't have to. Why do ours have to be clean? There's a major reason why we have to have clean change, not just because we're picky and we want clean changes, but there's a reason. Can you do tempies in the right count if the horse has late changes? It's impossible. Okay? That's why it matters in dressage and it doesn't matter in the hunter world, because they don't have to do tempies. Not required. They can do tempies, but they're not required. Okay? So that's why it matters. That's why it's so important that you put it. If you don't get a clean change on the horse, good luck. Go on to Pre-St. George. It's impossible. I saw a horse do twos once, though. In I-1, did all of them, correct count, and every single one of them was through the trot. It was like actually pretty amazing that the horse could do it one stride of trot and did the count perfectly well. They weren't flying changes, but it was amazing to see. Really super job. Thank you so much. Have fun with her.